All right, happy Saturday, and your surprise is Aslan. All right, now you guys are way better artists than I am, so you could make this however you like, but I thought I would just give you a couple suggestions, okay? So first thing, set this aside. Don't worry about how mine looks. Make yours your own way, all right? It'll be better. Second off, go adventuring. What? Yes. Go and make sure before you pick something, ask your mom and dad. All right, but I have a lot of these cool branches, and they just are overgrown, so you could just cut them. So I used that a lot, and I thought it was fun. And I use this for his mane. But then I used this ivy, which grows everywhere, and I used that kind of to make his crown. Do you see the crown on his head? All right. So go adventuring. I also see down there in his beard, down the little white things. I pulled that out of the yard too. Just snipped a couple little snips off. All right. So go adventuring. And you see with the little seeds in his eyes? I'm not so good at making eyes. But anyway, those are mustard seeds just because I had them from my last lesson. And I thought, you know what? Let's use mustard seeds. So you could use seeds, you could use nuts, you could use things from your yard, you could use paper you have, you could use paper you make. All right, so let's see how we start out. So find yourself a piece of cardboard. You could have poster board like this. You could have something that's like the back of an Amazon box or some box that came in the mail, right? Doesn't matter what it is. And the first thing you want to do is decide how big you want your face. So I liked his face to be big, and then the mane just kind of went off the sides of it. So I drew like a basic shape of his face. And I'm actually going to post on the bottom of this. Actually, Miss Jenny is, because she's the best assistant ever. And she is going to post a little how to draw a lion's face, which I probably should have used, but instead I just drew my own. But I know there's a lot of you guys who can draw a better lion's face than I did. And but if you're like me and you're not good at drawing a lion's face, you could use this little how to draw a lion's face, and that will help you out. So moms, dads, let your kids be creative, draw their own faces, and have fun with it. So after you draw the basic shape, you want to put that down and just kind of trace around the outside of it. I'll hold it up there in a minute for you, but just trace around the outside. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. And you might want to use a pencil, but trace around the outside, and then you're ready to start. So you're going to keep your lion's head, and it could be on paper. I actually did mine on a little bit of vellum that was kind of clear at first, just for fun, but it could just be on regular paper too. Then you're going to decide what is your mane going to be made out of. All right. Now, I happen to have a bunch of scrapbook paper. So if mom scrapbooks and has a bunch of paper, look through here. And so I just folded it in a triangle and then cut it so it would have all these little angles and it would go different directions. But I was thinking, what color is a lion? Yellow and orange, and it probably has some deep black in there. You know, they call them low lights now, you know. And so I thought, let's just pick a bunch of papers. So what I did, I started out with some papers and a handy glue stick, that's nice because the beginning of this, you could just use a glue stick. And that way, maybe even your brothers and sisters could help you. I will tell you, I'm just going to show you a little bit. This took a really long time. So it could be a week-long project, and you and your brothers and sisters could do it together. Or you could each do your own, and it could take even longer if you wanted to. But start gluing. So I just kind of took a little section like this, did a bunch of glue, and started sticking. And I would just kind of layer them. But you want to have them end up basically around the outside of that for it to look really nice. Now, like I said, I had these. You might not have paper like this, which is fine. You could have some other different kinds of paper, or you can take paper grocery bags and open them up and get some paints. I grabbed a whole bunch of paints that are brown and orange and kind of like a peachy color and black and a darker brown and different kind of orange and some white. But you could just paint paper the way you like it and then just cut it into strips. That would make it even more original. Miss Jamie was in a bit of a hurry, but you know what? I would make it your own original way. But just start lining papers up. So you're going to just do it all the way around. And once you get the whole mane done, then you could go back and trim it. I kind of left mine jagged because I'm thinking that Aslan has not had a haircut during quarantine. What do you think? Probably not. So You could leave it a little bit jagged, but I just kind of went around with all the different papers. I did notice, let me see if you guys can figure out, he has one little gray section. Can you tell where his gray hair is? Yep, it's his beard. See how I have just the gray down here on his beard? I just thought that was kind of cute. I mean, Mr. Chris has gray in his beard, so I thought that was kind of cool. So do it however you want. Then when you get ready to do the face. Now, this is where I took these branches. And let me see where my extra branches. So much stuff. Have a little paper plate or something for your palette. You got your paper. I'm going to move that aside now that we kind of know what that is about. You could have tissue paper to do the face with. But if you want to do these little branches, what I did was just lay them down. Here they are. Just lay them down. And I painted them black first, and then I went over them with gold. I don't think that's necessary. Skip this step. Just paint gold over it. So if you can find some gold metallic paint, I think that's the best, because Aslan is the king, right? So I think he'd have some metallic-y kind of stuff. So take your brush, just paint that on, and then when you take your face, you want to lay that on, and then you're going to do this. Now, depending on how much time you have, you can glue this on with just regular Elmer's glue, tacky glue, whatever. Or if you want to have mom help, you could have her glue gun it, and that'll just make it a lot faster. So do that. You could put your gold on before, or you could do it after. Depends on how you want to do it. Then you want to start with your face. And you know, I was just looking at a picture of a lion face. Again, I'm not good at drawing them, but it was just kind of fun to mix a lot of colors together. And you guys are really good at mixing colors. So get your oranges, your browns, your peaches, and then have some white. So do you see how I kind of made his little white beard and stuff in there? And have enough white around his eyes. Like I said, I used the mustard seed for his eyes, and then I used a little stone. At first, the stone was black, and I thought he'd look too much like Scar instead of Aslan, so I made his eyes blue. Whatever you guys want. They could be green eyes, they could be lavender eyes, whatever color you guys want. I can't wait to see you guys what you do, because I know you're going to be super creative. So glue on all your garland kind of stuff. And then this is where I took these little guys, and after I painted the face out, I put these like the crown, these little ivy. You know that song, Holly and the Ivy? I was at Christmas for a minute. Aslan brought me to Christmas. What? Narnia, there's never any Christmas at Narnia except for when Aslan came. So a little faux pas got me going the right direction. All right, so you're gonna glue those on so they'll be kind of like his little crown, because he's the king. The other thing I gathered was some little sticks for his whiskers, because I feel like his whiskers would be a little rough, don't you? Just a little bristly. And then his little white beard. I've got some of that little stuff down there. So when you're done, then I took some yarn just because I thought it would be fun. You guys, you can layer, you could use buttons for the eyes. You could use little stones that you make with, like, you know, little cement things. You could use lentils or peas to make some of the face and make like a mosaic. Spend some time doing this. I remember when I was about 3rd grade, we did like this whole big giant mosaic out of just lentils and split peas. So cool. So there's lots of different color lentils that go with lion colors. So that would be another great thing. So use what you have in your yard, in mom's pantry that she allows you, both the yard and the pantry, and then just have some fun. So I just glued this on as a last little thing because it made me feel like he had a little bit of a fuzzy face. But that was it. And that is Aslan. So I hope you guys will do it. It could be this big, that big, whatever size you want, whatever you want to use. I know you guys are so creative, but make an Aslan this week and listen Monday through Friday, and we're going to talk more about him. Are you ready? All right, I'll see you.